And hello to all my Virgo friends. I'd like to welcome you in. My name is Scott Sagent, and today I'll be doing your free psychic tarot reading for February 2023. Now today they dialed up for my great Virgos a very specific spread. It's going to sound familiar because it's a repeat of last month. They want to talk about money, financial specific corner spread. Now we're going to set this up in the storyline format. Thank goodness. It allows me to be very accurate because we're going to be telling a bunch of different stories for different Virgos going through different financial things. And since it is a repeat spread of last month, there's something financial that some of the Virgos didn't get here. So they need to re-punch this idea through here in the form of different stories. We're going to find the story that is right for you. Thank goodness it is a storyline spread because that allows me to be very accurate, casting that wide net across the entire sign of Virgo. So we're going to find the story in here that is a home run for you. You may be able to find bits and pieces of great information from all the stories, but at the end of the day, we're looking for that one that is all about you, and that will be a home run. That is the mission today, and we will accomplish such things. They've also asked that I conclude your reading with a telling time spread, and that is a very fascinating one itself because here, Spirit is telling us a window of time opportunity, usually within this upcoming year. Usually it's in the future. Sometimes it can go back in the past too. I've seen it happen before, but usually it's more future based. So there's something in the future for this year, more than likely, that they want to bring attention to and point at the calendar and say, right then, right here, right now. So lots of interesting things lie ahead. We're also going to conclude your reading with the rune stone. So let's get started right now, guys. No time to waste. The cards are already shuffled. I do that ahead of time to save us all a bunch of time. I'm going to bring you in the overhead view so you can watch. I like to share my table with you guys so you can see what's going on. And are we on? There we go. We are live and recording. What I'm doing now, Virgo, these are my ritual cuts, cutting each deck into thirds, and then putting them back together in a separate order. That satisfies the ritual aspect of tarot. It's the same procedure for personal private readings, so it's just like you're here with me now. Now, any storyline spread, even this one being a financially themed one, is going to start with 5 cards. These are your first 5 cards, and then we expand out from there where we need to go. This deck has a tendency to make very large storylines. Doesn't mean it's going to happen today, but that's just the likelihood. And we're still going, and we're still going. Am I off the screen? Half off. Let's come down here. And we're still going, and we're still going, and we're still going. And that's pretty close to a stop there. Still going. There's our first sure stop, because this individual, let me move it over just to make sure you can see it, is facing this way. It's the first time that somebody's done that. This one's kind of eyeball looking that way, but not facing that way. So this is the first one looking back in, so that brackets me off. Now I got to get pairings together. Check the inverts too. 3, 4, 5, 6. Not enough to matter for inverted. As far as the stories and the pairings, that's where this gets tricky. So I'm going to have a separation here between the majors. The order is staying the same. You got to pretend this goes in one big long line. The reason I did it in 2 lines is just so you can try to capture it on the camera for you. And I am going to move this around like I told you, just to make sure you see everything. But in the meanwhile, as I get this together, this is it. We're looking at 5 stories. I say that's it like it's some easy task. No, these are big stories. So I mean, there's one little one. But we're going to get more cards than this, so we're not done yet. And I already know I'm off screen, so don't worry, guys. I'll bring that back. Let me grab the Angel Oracle cards first while I'm thinking about it. And then we're going to get some more cards to describe the stories and what is going on financially here. That they wanted to talk about all about money for my Virgos. Again, 2nd month in a row. Let's go over here. So every story gets an Oracle Angel card. Check my inverts now that I'm based on stories all isolated here, and the inverts here are 2 out of 3. We will do a discard there and there only. That's the only one we'll check, and they basically said nope, Spirit likes it just the way that it looks. So now I just need some information. Let's see if this is a person. It is not. I'm gonna leave that in the spread though, just to talk about it. See if this is a person. Get over here. Yes, it is. This one is a person. That's why we check. And then I got a Major Arcana card with the Death card, so that's going to get 2 cards to describe it. Full table. Lover's card gets 2 cards. That's a major arcana card. Grabbing these 2. Just like so. Coming over here. Those are good. They're just going to share 1 card. I know that's off the screen. You can't see it. It's okay. You'll see it momentarily. Then I just need 2 cards on the tower. Another major. And 1 card to see if this prince is a person. It is not. I'm going to leave that there to discuss it still. So there we go. We're done. And my table is very full. Let me try to show you, attempt to make this make sense. That's going to be one story here. Come down here for the second story, ending with All That Glitters. We'll come up here for story 3, the soulmate-based one. More for my coupled Virgos, relationship Virgos. Story 4 is going to be this little guy right here. It's the only one that was kind of short and sweet. And then story number 5, this long, lengthy, latitudinally, making up words now, one right there. So let's get started, Virgo. We got a lot to discuss. Still got that telling time to do. So, telling time is an intricate spread too. So, it's not to be rushed. So let's get going. Finances. Financial new beginnings is what they talk about in story number 1 here, Virgos. This is like a brand new clean slate. Like where, this is entirely new, where nothing from the past exists anymore. This is a complete clean slate. Time to start over financially. If this sounds like you could very much be with me in story 1. If not, bear with me. We got a lot of other stories to hit. They do talk about easy money here, so I don't know if that's just like a windfall or things have been going really good financially for a lot of you Virgos here in story 1. They do show that there is too much fun being had, though. We have the kind of the drinking card, the too much social, too much fun, too much excess being done. So just be a little careful of that. But besides that, the new beginning is very nice to see. There is blocked big money, though, so I don't know if it's not here yet. And it makes me feel like, you got a loan and you're just you're waiting for the rest of it to come through. Or maybe you just know that money is coming and therefore you've changed your spending habits a little bit here. So it's coming in on a block, so I'm just letting you know that this money is, maybe not coming as soon as you'd like it to or something like that. It's on a delay of some form. We have the Emperor card, so they're letting us know that you really need to be authoritative with this. So if this is a delay, you need to kind of follow up on it. You need to be authoritative as far as like, well, why is it delayed? Maybe it's a hang up that you need to actually call somebody and talk to somebody to get him to kind of release these funds or something like that. Maybe it's an HR thing or, a bank thing. Who's to say? We do have a person coming up in this card, in this story, I should say. This is my princess card. So this is a younger person that is involved in this story. I don't know if they're talking about that this story is about a younger person or if there's just an extra young person involved, but this is usually a generation gap younger. So this is like a mother and a daughter difference of age, or like a father and a daughter, or could be son too, but any mix of the group. But it's usually, like I said, a generation gap apart. They show All That Glitters is Gold, so there's something here that they want you to be careful of because it isn't what it appears to be. That's what All That Glitters is Gold means. It means on the outside it looks great, it looks shiny and golden and wonderfully sparkly, but under the hood it's got a bad engine. It's really not what it looks like it is. And people can be the same thing. All that glitters is gold. They can appear to be one way, but when you get to know them, kind of ugly under the hood there, right? So there we go with story 1, guys. Story 2. Story 2 financially talks about really kind of the opening up of the spending. I have my hoarder card on an invert. Excuse me, I actually said that wrong because it's on an invert. So it's basically saying it's okay to be a hoarder right now. This is not the time necessarily to be spending a lot here in story 2. If you've been saving, this is more than likely your story. If not, bear with me, we got 3 more to go. So they're talking about it's actually okay to be a hoarder right now. It's actually okay to save, every penny you got. Maybe it's used for different reasons. Well, we have travel coming in too, so that's what some of you Virgos will be using this money for, and that would be the green light where you don't have to be a hoarder. You can use it toward traveling, toward moving your finances down a better path. They show deep knowing, so a lot of you kind of have more of an intuition about what this is all about. So if you're here in story 2, there's not any second guessing about it. You already know that you're here in story 2. They do bring in that there is a lover's upside down inverted card here, which basically means 2 people or 2 entities that are adverse. So it could be Spirit's way of saying, no, don't do 2 accounts. just do one. It could be Spirit's way of saying don't do 2 travel destinations. You want to go to Paris and London. Well, maybe you should just do one. Okay, so that's kind of the way that the Lovers inverted can mean not just about people. It can also be about people because I have the Justice card coming in there, so it makes me feel like some of you here in story 2 may be going through some legal type of deals that you have to put money into. Now, the good news is we have the Justice on a upright, so that usually means justice in your favor, not the other way around. But we do have the Lovers on an invert, so that has a bunch of different meanings, and I've tried to give you a few of those just so you get the vibe. We also have I feel like the worst is behind you here. Some of you have really gotten beaten up here in story 2 and really taken a beating, and it could even be physical injury too, because it's both. And or it's one or the other, or it's both. So this can be, where you actually hurt yourself and you've been out of work and you've been losing money because you're out of work, or whatever it is that you've been. Maybe it's actually work that has been beating you up. Maybe it's taking a toll on your body. Maybe you're just injured. But here they're showing that is affecting the financial side here in story 2. Let's move into story 3, guys, and we're going to hit some moon cycles. This is the soulmate story. More than likely, this is for my coupled up Virgos. That's how they kind of let me know that. We have the Tower card, so there is fast change coming, very quick. And for some of you, it has to do with transportation. It has to do with the car, putting money into the car perhaps. The car is showing upside down, which basically means it needs the attention. It needs the money right now. This is a financial spread after all. They do show good credits though, so this actually works out pretty good. The end result is good. It might not start good, but it is going to finish very good. Okay, and also when we have good credit, we have good karma, so maybe people helping each other out, maybe not necessarily bring it to a car shop or a dealership to get repaired. Maybe you know somebody who does it, who has a garage and does some side work on the side here. And I say car because that's kind of the main transportation that we use here, but it can be other transportation too. This could be about a motorcycle. This could be about a bicycle. Whatever transportation means to you, it's coming in on a block. So it's saying, something's a little off here. Or, that's what the quick money spending needs to be about with that tower fast coming down. And the reason the tower comes down is so you can build it up better. So it gives you an opportunity here. In this case, it's good credit. So thumbs up, good to go. They do talk about selling something here in story 3 as well. So consider that too if you're in a financial crunch, that selling something worth a lot of money could be very, very good for you in February. It's coming in that way. And also but be very defensive about it. Here's what they're saying. It makes me feel like, you put up a car for sale for, let's say, $5,000, and you got a bunch of people trying to get it for lower, okay? Offering you $3,000, $3,500. Know what it's worth. And this could not be about a car. This could be about anything, guys. But I'm just giving you the example. They're saying here, be defensive about it. So hold your ground. You're going to get that high buyer that comes through. So that's very important if you're selling something in February, guys. Very good. Let's move into some moon cycles. They are huge this month. And then I'm going to come back and get your story 4 and story 5. Hopefully we hit your story already. If not, we're coming back to do it. Let's go. Okay guys, cutting in, here we go with some moon cycle forecast time. We have a huge lunar event going on in February. This is the third, the trifecta. It started in December, January, and now here we are in February. We get the third huge super new moon, but let's talk about that full moon first because that comes in first. It is a micro full moon, which means it's very small in the sky, but you can still use this energy to get anything out of your life that you don't want there anymore, whether it's a person, whether it's something to do with work or a project you just got to wrap up and get out, anything you need to sell or repurpose or even donate, all that stuff much better placed early in February under that full moon. Adversely, we have that huge new super new moon, that brand new moon coming in on February the 20th, and this is the greatest opportunity for a while, guys, until August, to bringing in new things into your life. And it doesn't matter what you're trying to manifest, what you're trying to attract. The universe does not care. This could be new love you're trying to bring in. You're trying to do something brand new with health. Let's say you're trying to do something new with work, get a new job, get a new promotion, or anything in between. Like I said, the universe does not care. Using that manifestation power, though, it's going to be very, very strong. Middle of the month, moving toward late into February. February 20 is the key date there, but anytime really bracketing around that is key for that. It's kind of any kind of manifestation stuff, guys. You can really attract powerfully right now. And it's the best time to do it because, like I said, we don't get any big lunar activity until August. So this is kind of the last chance for the last dance. Here we go. So moon cycles are a big deal, and if any of this has confused you, or maybe you prefer just a little graphic aid, a little illustration, I put together a moon cycle cheat sheet, and it is always on my website, and it is always free. I have moved what page it's on, though. I'm now doing a page about stuff that I'm talking about page. So things that we're talking about, that's where you can find it, parked at the very top. That is your moon cycle forecast cheat sheet. Got to tell you about new things coming into the shop, too. Make sure you're signed up for the newsletter, because my newsletter people get a couple free things every single year just by being signed up for it. I do giveaways on Facebook, and we want to follow both of those for sure. But let's talk about that new product in the shop. Every month, I unveil a brand new product into the Scott Sagent shop on the website, and this is the month that we are doing another gemstone, and it's going to be tree agate. And this is a wonderful gemstone for February because it brings and attracts love into all of the chakras. It's not just one or two of them. It can bring it into all of them at the same time. Very calm stone too. It works very slowly, but its lasting effects are long. It's basically doing the turtle energy. Slow and steady wins the race, and therefore it is not a strong vibration stone. It is very easy to work with, very calm, very mellow. Even if you've never had a gemstone before or don't work with gemstones, tree agate is a wonderful one for you. And I just love the green and the white, to the fact where I'm showing you pictures here on the screen. I really am giving you two different lighting options here just so you can see it under different lighting, because it is very beautiful. I love how the green and the white swirls together. It reminds me when I'm in an airplane looking down on Mother Earth, the green and the trees, fade into just colors eventually, and the green and the white together. Actually, the more green the gemstone is, the more strong it is, and the more white the tree agate is, kind of the more mellow energy it is. So those are both available on the website. Well, I say both because it's available in small and in large. So we got two different sizes of tree agates available now. We got giveaways going on at the same time. We're still giving away the charm gemstone, and that is a random one, but that I'm flashing a picture of that on the screen too. That comes with every purchase of tree agate, or even the tiger's eye from last month. Any gemstone purchase comes with that, and also a little nylon case. You get to choose the color of that. So great stuff on the website every single month. New things, guys. So let's get back to your reading right now. Okay, Virgo, so you can see how big that super new moon is going to be for financial, bringing new things in, guys. It's going to be strong. And those of you that are selling, like we just talked about that selling there in story 3, you got something to sell, do that under the full moon. Much easier placed there, much easier to get rid of it, get that high buyer in there. And it might not be this full moon that it hits, it might be the next one, but you got to start somewhere, right? So that's how those moon cycles can work for you here. And this being a financial spread, the stakes are pretty high. Now, this story, Spirit has kind of let me know that this is going to be not just about one person. I feel like there's going to be some of you that are going to be in 1 and 4, 2 and 4, 3 and 4. 4 is going to hit a lot of people. Just the vibe that's going on. Now, what they talk about first is taking great pride in something financially here. So you're putting into money something that you care about greatly, okay? And that is coming in good. It's like, it could be a hobby, it could be an interest, could be a side business, could be a bunch of different things, but they bring in serendipity. So there is just a veil and a bubble here of good luck, of things that just end up working out in mysterious ways financially for you here in February. And it's just good to see. A little fortuitous bounce in the right direction never hurts, right? We have the Queen of Swords coming in. Let me just do an extra discard to make sure they're not talking about a person. They're not. Okay, so we're good. They really are calling for the nurturing of your mindset here. You guys got to really just they show you've done a good job of it, but you need to keep thinking positive. It's very important to attract the positive. You got to think the positive, put the positive out there to get it back. And like I said, I feel like you guys do it, so I'm not really sure. The only reason that it can come up again is just to keep doing it. We just want to keep the positive momentum going and so forth. They show that there is an emotional attachment that is coming in here, and that there is, and emotionally, you're getting interested about something. Maybe it is this hobby. It could go back to that card, but you're getting very interested about something here, whether it's financial or whether it's a love corner thing, because it is a cup. So anytime we have cups, it is a love corner thing. But being a financial spread, I have to kind of try to tie it in financially, but this can be about getting interested in putting money into the family too, because that love corner is not just love, interest, love, relationship. It is also the family. Anybody you hold close to your heart, even close friends. So that is a great story. Story number 4, guys. As we move into 5, story 5, they show kind of getting over some speed humps here. These are minor deals. This is not anything big. Getting over some stick fights here, disagreements, financial ones, ironing some things out. Maybe this is through court. Maybe this is through mediation. Maybe this is just through communication. But we're getting some things settled here for a lot of my Virgos financially here in story 5. They do talk about getting things in a row here, so you got to be very organized with this, especially if it was the court one. You got to be very organized, get these ducks in a row, because there's going to be somebody looking over your shoulder, looking at every little piece of this. So you got to be organized. You got to have everything, the I's dotted, the T's crossed, and so forth. This is also can be about a small win with work. This is the first time we talked about work, but this can be a small little success coming in here for work, a little promotion, maybe a bonus pay and a party, a pizza party, just a small little win. No big deal, but nice, We have the Prince of Swords coming in, which is action in the mind. So make up your mind here in story 5, what you're going to do with these things. They show the card that ends pretty happily. It is the second greatest card in my tarot deck. It is the 10 of Cups, but in this deck, it just doesn't feel as good as it should. So there's something kind of in the way of it, letting this wonderful, joyous energy through. And what is in the way? I don't know. Maybe it's just, all these hoops you had to jump through to get here in story 5, and you're beaten and bruised up, just kind of like story 2 was. And you know what? Here we are. But they show co-create, so this is going to be other people working together. It's letting you know that this is not all about you. Don't try to do this by yourself. Do this as a team with a unit. As many people as you can get together here to add to the camaraderie of what is trying to be done here in story 5, the better off you will be. Let's grab that runestone, guys, and then we're going to get into some telling time. And I just threw that all over the place. They're already mixed up. I'm going to give them one more swirl. And then we're ready to go. So runestone for Virgo for February. It's going to be this one right here. And this is the runestone of movement. And you can tell by the fact that we had 5 different stories, there is a lot of movement going on. This is actually Virgo. I'm reading you guys as my second to last reading. Spirit was very unsure about which way we were taking it with you guys as well. Gemini was worse, but Virgo's here. That's why we got 5 stories here. We're separating this thing out into 5 mini readings is really what we're doing, because we have so much movement, so many moving parts, especially financially. That's why they needed to get you this pertinent information so that you can use it to the best of your ability. So lots of things going on, and you want to kind of go with this energy. You don't want to resist it. You want to go with the flow and not swim against the currents as much as possible. Now, I'm going to get into your telling time, but I used way too many cards, so I do need to reshuffle very quickly, which I will cut away for, so you don't have to sit here and be bored watching that. So I will be right back with telling time. Okay, Virgo, I am back. The cards have been reshuffled, ready to go. Quick ritual cut of the thirds, back together it goes, and we're ready for some telling time. Now I'm going to kind of talk about this as I do it because we are short on time, but we are looking for aces. Aces are my target, and we're going through different rounds of when I get my aces. If I get an ace, basically a ping here for a date, this first round, it is highly important. This is like Spirit saying, hey, this is something that you cannot miss for the life of you. It's just that important, and we don't have one right now. So we go into a second round, which basically just turns the energy down a little bit, says, hey, this window is a little bit bigger. You got a little bit more time, a little bit more cushion here for this date that we're about to give you. So let's go through that round. There's one date. Let's just finish the round to make sure we don't have more. Spirit might just want one date, or there could be multiples. Nope, we're just doing one, guys. So let me tack on some time to that. We'll go 3 cards there and then 1 card over here to discuss what it's about. Same with that. And we're ready to go. The only thing I have to do is cut away real quick to do some calculations, and I'll be right back with your date for telling time. Okay, Virgo, I am back. I have calculated the telling time. Interestingly enough, this date is coming up very soon. This is very first week of May. May 7th is the actual date, but there is a bracket of window. I usually do about a week here, so let's just call it the first week of May. Now, what is this first week of May, and why are they talking about it here in your reading in February? Well, this is a financial spread, remember. Now, what they talk about here is describing getting over this trauma of the mental anguish, whatever you got going on financially. This has got to go away. We have to wrap this thing up by first week of May. This feels like, what is the tax deadline? I think it's like April 15 or something like that. If it was like that for some people, this is later than that. So this makes me feel like this could be an extension or getting a little bit of extra time to do something like that. But you got to get this done, and they bring in pink energy too. So this is extremely feminine, and you need to be soft about this too. So whether they're giving you pink here to tell you, hey, you got to be soft with this, you got to, kind of handle it like a woman here. If you're a guy, you got to just handle it delicately. Or if you're a woman, this could be saying, hey, we're, highlighting that this is about a woman more than likely. But you got to get over whatever is causing you pain here. So for some of you, it could be like a certain credit card. It's got to go. You got to get it done by May, or you got to stop using it, up with a plan. They're giving you a couple months here to figure it out. You're on a deadline, guys, and this is going to help you out in a great, great way. For some of you, this can even be about being sick and how that's affecting your health, but that's very rare. This is more about up here, the mental anguish and the, basically the swords going through and just kind of stabbing you is what they show in the card itself. And in this deck that they wanted me to use for you to just kind of illustrate how important this is. And those swords are not real. These are, imaginary, illusionary things, but it still causes stress, it causes anxiety, it causes worry. And we don't want any of that because it's bad. Bad, bad, bad. That kind of stuff creates a whole host of other problems that we don't want. So they're giving you a deadline first week in May, guys. Get this financial stuff done, whatever it is for you. You're on a deadline, and now you know what that deadline is. That is going to wrap up our entire reading. I know it's been a long one. Thank you so much for sticking with Virgo. Please remember to like and subscribe so you see the future readings. That is it for me. Have a great February.